Wow, we're live from the Moonshine Cafe in Oakville. A great show for you tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Great artists on the show tonight. Graham Scott Fleming is here. Mackenzie Leigh Meyer is here. And Alessia Cohle is here. Great country artists from Ontario. We're going to have a fun night. Thank you so much for tuning in. There is a tip donation link that is in the chat at wherever you see your comments. And you can give $5, $10, $1, whatever you like, and all the money goes to these three artists performing tonight. Let's get on with things. Great music ahead. We've even got a special surprise in the form of a duet. So stay tuned. Yeah, I don't even know if they're prepared for this. It might be a surprise to them too. We'll find out. But without further ado, I want to welcome my first guest, Graham Scott Fleming.
Hey, Dave.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. And before we go any further, the real star of the hour is Mr. Jeff Brown.
Mr. Jeff Brown.
Well,
Downtown.
hello, everybody.
Downtown Jeff Brown, the reason he's the star is he's on as long as I am because he's backing up every performer tonight. So that's a lot of songs to learn.
They all spoiled me. They wanted to spoil me. First gig back.
So Jeff will be on the screen all night, as will I. But let's get into Graham Scott Fleming, into your career, into your life. Let's start with music. The big news right now is Deja Vu. 42,000 streams on Spotify.
42K today.
Wow.
I know. I was like freaking out when it reached 1,000.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, what is happening?
I think you've had a few moments like that so far. What is happening? Like, you can't believe some of this stuff.
No, I mean, I've been so wrapped up in kind of trying to make the acting career happen and
Right.
things going with that. And last summer, kind of, being in quarantine, I haven't had much to do. So I sat around writing these tunes, and I was like, why not try give it a go? And I've just been introduced to, the most incredible people, and everyone's kind of been with me and had my back since day one. So it's a lot of these moments are just pinch me moments for sure.
Right on. Well, you're a big part of the scene now with bigger things on the way. Let's talk about your acting background before we get right into the music. You have been on some pretty big stages and all around the world.
Yeah, luckily. I mean, I've done Kinky Boots now 5 times, I think, and that started at the Mirvish Theatre, the Royal Alexandra in Toronto with Mirvish.
Okay.
And from there, I mean, I got to make my Broadway debut, which is exciting, in Miss
Amazing.
Saigon. Yeah, which was actually nominated for a Tony, so I got to perform at the Tonys at the Rockefeller Center as well.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. What was your first role? Like, how did you break into acting?
I was always the class clown. I was always a jerk. And then, I kind of honed it all in, and I was asked to audition for, it was a show Rent in Toronto. And
Okay.
I had done a couple little things before that, but I went in, had no idea what was going to happen, and I ended up booking the ensemble, which was, for me, it was my first Toronto show. I was so excited. My whole town came to see it.
Wow.
And then I just kept kind of stumbling on from there.
And the town, of course, is Elmville, Ontario, small town.
Yes, represent.
You are the pride of Elmville. Tell us a bit about that beautiful town.
I mean, you don't realize it when you're there. You don't realize it till you leave, just how special growing up in a small town is.
Right.
I've always been lucky. Everyone's been in my corner since day one. They've come see me in shows in Toronto. Some even came to New York to come see me. Anytime I'm home, it's all my moms, all my dads, all my cousins, all my sisters, all my friends.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's just an incredible town that I'm very thankful to be a part of.
So shout out to everybody watching in Elmville, because you were watching the
Hometown.
live stream we did that night, which was great, and it's so much support from your hometown. And that made me kind of think of Elmville in that area of Jason McCoy. And I know you've got a connection to him, and I think you guys wrote a song together, Young, Wild, and Free. Tell us about Jason.
Yes, sir.
We know him, but tell us about your friendship with him.
The quick story of it is he played in, I think it was, what was the band? It's
The Roadhammers.
But what was the first one? He was a drummer in the Blue Notes.
You were mentioning that at somebody's wedding.
Yes, he was
Yeah, I
playing
think it
at
was
my
the Blue
parents'
Notes.
wedding, and then my parents heard him on the interview when he became Jason McCoy. he called in and was like, "Did you play at this wedding?" And Jason was like, "Yeah." So he played as a drummer at my parents' wedding. Cut to, he got a house up north, kind of near us, and my dad was hired to be the electrician. And then, so my dad kind of introduced us that way, and I got to go to his house, and we sat down and we wrote the song "Young, Wild, and Free," and that's the title of the EP, the last EP I did.
Amazing. Well, let's get into some music right now. I believe you've got a song called "Dancing in the Rain."
Dancing in the Rain.
And did you just write this song very recently?
These are, the 5 songs that I'm going to be putting out in this kind of EP that will be released all together soon. They were all songs that I wrote last year in quarantine. So these ones are the 5 tunes that I just recorded with the agenda.
Right on.
And just recently recorded. This is my first time singing it live, and especially acoustic. So this
No
is going to be
pressure.
fun with Mr. Jeff Brown and maybe Mackenzie.
Take it away.
If I'm being honest, I don't know what I'd do if I saw you standing with me, Lord. I'd pray it wasn't true. I'd get red in the face, weak in the knees, back in my head through every reason we fell apart. Take me there, dancing in the rain. Hold your head on my shoulder as I fall in love again and again. Wake me up. Don't tell me that it's true, 'cause I've done the moving on. And baby, I'm still in love with you. How did I become a stranger to someone from your past? My heart was in your hands, and you shattered it like glass. See all that you want, all that you need, more than I gave to you. You can see me falling apart. Oh, yeah. Take me there, dancing in the rain. Hold your head on my shoulder as we fall in love again and again. Wake me up. Don't tell me that it's true, 'cause I've done the moving on. And baby, I'm still in love with you. I can't pretend you're not there. I can't pretend we're not through. Take me out of this rain if I'm not dancing with you. Take me off of your mind. I can't do it again. If you come running back this time, I won't let you in. I hate how much I love you, and I know that you're not thinking of me. Oh, take me back to dancing in the rain as we fall in love again. Don't tell me that it's true, 'cause I've done the moving on. I'm still in love with you. Oh, oh, oh. I'm still in love.
Wow. What a voice. What a voice.
Stop it.
And the small crowd is going crazy. Graham Scott Fleming from Elmville, Ontario. That is called "Dancing in the Rain." His current single at Country Radio is "Deja Vu," with 42,000 streams on Spotify, and a music video is on the way. It's in the works.
It's in the works. We shot part 1 on Saturday, part 2 this Saturday.
Right on. And Roadhouse Productions.
Yes, Roadhouse Productions. Yes, AJ and Johnny are incredible.
AJ and Johnny, Roadhouse Productions, they've been doing so many videos. I've been watching a bunch of them lately, and they're all so good.
They're all so good. They're incredible. They're both young. They both have such a great eye. They're both musicians too, so
Yeah.
they got such a good vibe and good feel for everything.
Yeah, they know how to tell a story, the visuals to go with the audio, which is great. Let's also talk about another great part of your career. You mentioned them earlier, the Agenda.
Those boys.
Woo!
I think we've all worked with them in one way or the other. They're just incredible. They're another group of young guys that
Yep.
I think they all met at Humber, which is where most of everyone here is from as well.
It's a big Humber connection.
But yeah, they've just like kept together since then, and they work together for the music. They do the producing now, and they produce all 5 of these tracks. So I'm very thankful to know them.
And when is that full record or that EP coming out?
Oh man, I have
Tomorrow?
I wish. I have another single to drop, probably spring, close to summer, and then I might drop 3 together after that.
Okay, nice. So much more music on the way
Coming
from Graham is coming up. Let's get into your influences. So when I hear you sing, and I've told you this before, it's kind of obvious, but Dan and Shay and Rascal Flatts are kind of in your wheelhouse as far as what I would take as your influences.
My face just went beet red again. Yeah, everyone who knows me, I'm definitely obsessed with them, and I just think their voices are insane, and their songwriting obviously is incredible as well.
Yeah.
But I would say them and Garth Brooks are my go-tos for sure.
That's awesome. I saw you actually the other night on, I guess it was YouTube, doing a cover of a Garth Brooks song.
Oh yeah, More Than a Memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great tune.
Yeah, that was. I need to go through that YouTube for sure. I think I got some things there that I don't want people to see, but yeah, that's definitely on there.
Songwriting for you, did songwriting come easy for you, or have you learned a lot about it from the first?
Yeah, I kind of started at the same time that I started to, or when I found my voice really,
Okay.
and I started to pick up guitar. It's not come easy. I think any songwriter would say the same thing. Even till today, we still write garbage songs, but you got to write those garbage songs to find the gems.
Right.
But yeah, it's cool to listen to other artists, especially the ones that are here, and hear their styles, and you kind of incorporate your style and what their style is, and you get influenced by everywhere you go. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Right on. And you did something on TikTok with a Dan and Shay song, and they responded.
Yes, I freaked out. I might have took a couple shots after that, but I did. It was tequila, and there was 1 view on the video and 1 comment, and it was them. Usually those things, like most of the time they don't even see it, and especially, I don't know, TikTok's a weird place, but they were the first one to comment, first one to view, and first one to see. It was crazy.
Right on. Yeah. If you're going to get 1 view, you want it to be from Dan and Shay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be fine with just that.
Exactly. That's all you need. Folks, this is Country Nights in the City at the legendary Moonshine Cafe in Oakville. We are so honored to be here. John and Carlos doing such a great job setting up the studio here. I guess you could call it the Moonshine Studio. Mackenzie Leigh Meyer is on the way, and Alessia Cohle. Right now, of course, I'm speaking to Graham Scott Fleming. More to talk about, but let's get to another song. And I understand this one is called High Life.
This one is called High Life. I guess a bit about it. Sometimes, I think all songwriters, again, do this. But I like to write a lot from, situations that happen in my life. But I also love to write as a character. So this is just a kid
Right.
that wants to make it in the big city.
Right on. And I believe we're having a special guest join you on this song.
Yeah, we got Mac.
Right on, everybody. Mackenzie Leigh Meyer is joining Graham on stage.
Do we got Mac's
and joining
mic?
Jeff.
I think. Do we got a mic for Mac?
I mean, I'm the least important member of this ensemble. Am I going to sing really loud or not? Oh, there's a cable
It's
right
live, folks. Stay tuned. We are
Live
working out
entertainment.
the technical stuff. The audio. Audio is always an issue.
It's all good.
We're almost there.
Live theater, baby.
Check. Oh,
Hey.
Look at that. Wow.
less of me.
So I got Jeff and Mac with me, and this is High Life.
Y'all ready?
Ripped jeans and a pair of trucks, LA dreams, he ain't giving up. With his guitar strapped on his back, he'll play for a penny just to give it all back. And his parents call, checking on in. He don't wanna tell them that he's struggling. Hey, mom and dad, yeah, I'm doing just fine. You don't need to worry about a thing tonight. I'm on my way, gonna make it big someday. He went knocking on every local bar in the city, playing anywhere he could. And all it takes is a one night, one life, one chance, 1 minute in the spotlight. Now he's living the high life in the city. Hey! He don't wanna wait tables, he wants to play music in his soul, pumping in his veins. From 9 to 5, he's serving your plate. 5 and on, he's staying out late, trying to get a start on the boulevard. Get a bill on the top charts. He don't even care about the money in his hands. He just wants a crowd of people in a stand screaming his name. As he plays loud on the big stage, he went knocking on every local bar in the city, playing everywhere he could. And all it takes is a one night, one life, one chance, 1 minute in the spotlight. Now he's living the high life in the city. Jeff Brown, everybody. Late night at a dive bar, man in a suit with a guitar. Said, boy, you can play, we should talk real soon. Take my card, I got plans for you. No more knocking on every local bar in the city, playing anywhere he could. And all it took was a one night, one by one chance. Now he's playing on every big stage in the country, living every dream he had. And all it took was the one night, one by one chance, 1 minute in the spotlight. Now he's living the high life in the city. All it took was the one night, one by one chance. High life in the city.
Right on.
Yeah.
Graham Scott Fleming, Mackenzie, Leigh, Meyer, and Jeff Brown.
Woohoo!
High Life, man, that was hot.
It's a fun one.
That was fun. You guys all sounded so good together. Man, we got a star right here on the stage. A Star is Born.
Let's all calm down. That's a great, that's a great
I'm
movie,
not going
though.
to calm down. You got me all excited over here. Excited about the great music. Wow, that's awesome. What a powerful voice you have, Graham.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you about challenges in a music, acting, entertainment career, the arts and entertainment. What kind of challenges have you faced that you want to share with us, and how have you overcome them? We're getting serious.
Yeah, I think we've touched on this a little bit another time too, but obviously in this career we choose it because we're passionate about it. I think we all got music in our body, or arts and creativity running through our body. It's a hard career. It's not like a 9-to-5 job where we feel security. We're always hustling. We're always grinding, and it's easy to it's easy for people to look at us and think that this is a glamorous life because we're always dressed up. We're always looking good, and we're what people are coming to see. But we struggle. We struggle. It's just like the constant hustle and the constant grind can get to you. It's easy to take you over. Is that right? What I'm trying to say? But
We got you.
But because we're so passionate about it, we're not going to let that win, right? So
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Once I found it, I have not been able to let it go, and it's just driving me to here. It drove me to meeting you guys, which is very exciting, and you guys, which is very exciting.
It's something you can't not do. Music is in you, and you've got to do it.
I sing every day, and I know my family gets annoyed sometimes when I'm in the shower. I just can't stop. But also, you know, now my mom and dad, like now that I've found my voice, I can hear them singing along with me. So thanks, Mom and Dad.
Right on. Mums and dads are awesome.
They're amazing.
When you mentioned, you've said a couple times, finding your voice. Tell us about that process of finding. By that, I know. I guess it means your identity as a vocalist.
Yeah, it's. I think one of the most important things is to find your voice in any situation. Whether for me, whether it be acting, or finding this voice of me, you know, coming into this country world, because I think my vocals have been influenced by a lot of things, R&B.
Right.
Country, pop. So sometimes I feel like in this business, people get labeled like you have to be only. We were kind of talking about this. You're a country singer, or you're a pop singer, or you're a this singer.
Yeah.
When why can't we just be singers? But that's my one little fight. But yeah, finding your own voice. I just always, my thing is I like to listen to other artists, a whole bunch of different artists, whether it be jazz, any genre, and I like to mimic and then, you know, play around with that vocal, and then it influences what I do in my songs. Does that make sense? Am I talking in circles?
That makes sense.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay.
Everybody in the house gets it. John Carlos, you're following
you
along.
in the back?
Yeah, in the back.
You got it?
The cheap seats back there.
Yeah, we're not continuing until everybody gets it, and we'll go out into the street if we have to. We'll check what they think. All right, let's get back to some more music. It's great chatting. We had some great content there, but let's get to the single, the big single, Deja Vu,
Deja
which is getting so much attention, a whole bunch of streams. Everybody's loving this song. Tell us where it came from.
Yeah, Deja Vu was one of those ones from last year as well, and it's you know, we've all been through the breakup, but this one specifically, it's a true story. But it's the feeling of like, you know, I worked so hard on getting over this person, and yet anywhere I was, like if I was driving or if I was at a bar or whatever, I saw a memory with that person, or I saw that person, and it kind of felt like I was constantly living in that deja vu.
Yeah.
And so the lyrics kind of just kept spilling out. Sent it to the boys at the agenda, and we kind of ping-pong back and forth, and we found the sound and recorded it, and now it's happening. It's out there for people's ears.
Yeah, a big song for everybody to stream, request. You can stream it. I think there might be something coming up on the screen telling you where, but all music platforms, request it at your local country station. And tell everybody about Graham. Spread it around social media.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, let's hear this great song, and I believe Mackenzie will join you,
Yeah,
along with
sing
Jeff
along too.
I need to
Alessia.
sing.
and Alessia over on the
If
side.
you know it at home,
we'll be
sing
singing along.
along. I wish I could hear everybody, but yeah, this is Deja Vu,
Hello.
featuring Mackenzie's chair. I'm having deja vu at this party. When you walk into the room, got everybody talking. 'Cause they know I'm not over you. They try to take me home and they say that it's not worth it. But what I don't understand is you knew that I was hurt. Why'd you have to go and break me down again? Why'd you have to go so far? Take another piece of this heart. You could've left it with the last goodbye. Why'd you have to show up tonight? I don't wanna be reminded. I'm trying, and I'm barely getting by. Why'd you have to go so far? Tonight. It's taking every bit of me not to shut it down, like I did for the last year with you not around. Waving my white flag, still hearing your name, it's killing me. Now I thought that I would try, sit out and deny, have a few drinks just to feel okay. Now you're standing in the room and I'm stuck in deja vu. Why'd you gotta break me down again? Why'd you have to go so far? Take another piece of this heart. You could've left it with the last goodbye. Why'd you have to show up tonight? I don't wanna be reminded. I'm trying, and I'm barely When you walk into the room, you got everybody talking. 'Cause they know I'm not over you. Why'd you have to go so far? Taking up a piece of this heart, you could've left me with the last goodbye. Why'd you have to show up tonight? I don't wanna be reminded. I'm trying, and I'm barely getting by. Why'd you have to go so far? Why'd you have to go so far? I'm having deja vu at this party.
Graham Scott Fleming. Deja Vu, joined by Mackenzie, Leigh, Meyer, and Jeff Brown. Man, that is such a great song.
I have a blast. It's nice to not. I mean, usually every time I've done a live with you, I've had my guitar, so it's
Right.
nice to feel things. Without, I'm not confident with my guitar. That's I guess a singer thing about me. I like just being free and being able to feel and like think about the words.
Right on. You can just focus, on the words and the vocals. This is Country Nights in the City, live from the Moonshine Cafe. I'm your host, Dave Woods. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And we've got Mackenzie Leigh Meyer on the way with her own songs in just a bit.
Yes.
Then we have Alessia Cohle joining us. So amazing Ontario country talent on the show tonight. And again, thank you all for tuning in. There is a donation or tip jar link that is in the feed, so find it. And if you got a couple of bucks to throw to the artists, then please do so. It'll be divided among them, and that'll help them out a bit in these trying times, of course. Graham, I wanted to ask you, I'll let you have a drink first. As far as people you would like to meet in the business, maybe not even work with, but that too, but even somebody just that you admire so much, you'd like to have a conversation with them about the music business.
Okay, first of all, we all know the first answer. Let's all say it at the same time. Dan and Shay. I just want to pick their brain about, first of all, his attack at vocals, because he's just so clean and so good. Second of all, again, we were talking about this tonight. Mickey Guyton, who's who's crushing it in Nashville. I got to have a little conversation with her about the business, and that was already so inspiring. So if I could have like an hour one-on-one with her and just talk about what she's gone through and all that in the business, because I know it's tough, that would be incredible.
Great answers. Awesome. All right, I don't want to hold up the music any longer because we have a special duet cover song from Graham and Mackenzie.
I apologize for holding the phone. I've mentioned this too. I've always wanted to sing with Mackenzie, so this is.
The feeling's
I think-
mutual.
I think you worded it, dreams do come true when this happened.
Dreams do come true.
This is what
And
dreams
one
are
day
made
we're
of.
going to do this big trio here. You can't see her, she's behind the
Yes,
camera,
queen.
but Alessia and us, we're all going to do something together. So for now, this is a little cover duet.
1 minute. Counts if I start in the right spot.
Can they see her?
Even if they can. That's
Cool,
okay.
cool.
I love that. Okay.
All right.
Do the other version
We're on the
that
way
I
to
learned.
that.
Okay. I'm sure my mic will pick this up enough, but if not, Jeff's the important guitar player anyways.
Oh boy,
We're
pressure's
kind of
on,
throwing this
pressure's
together,
on.
but it's going to happen. So this is Just a Kiss,
Yeah.
Lady A.
Lady A.
All right, Jeff B, count me in.
3, 4.
Lying here with you so close to me. It's hard to fight these feelings when it feels so hard to breathe. Caught up in this moment, caught up in your smile.
I've never opened up to anyone. So hard to hold back when I'm holding you in my arms.
We don't need to rush this. Let's just take it slow.
Just a kiss on your lips in the moonlight. Just a touch of the fire burning so bright. I don't wanna mess this thing up. I don't wanna push too far. Just a shot in the dark that you just might be the word I've been waiting for my whole life. Baby, I'm alright. Just a kiss goodnight.
I know that if we give this a little time, it'll only bring us closer to the love we wanna find. No, it's never felt so real.
No, it's never felt so right. Just a kiss on your lips in the moonlight. Just a touch of the fire burning so bright. I don't wanna mess this thing up. I don't wanna push too far. Just a shot in the dark that you just might be the word I've been waiting for my whole life. So baby, I'm alright. Just a kiss goodnight. No, I don't wanna say goodnight. I know it's time to leave, but you'll be in my dreams tonight. Tonight. Just a kiss on your lips in the moonlight. Just a touch of the fire burning so bright. I don't wanna mess this thing up. I don't wanna push too far. Just a shot in the dark that you just might be the word I've been waiting for my whole life. Baby, I'm alright. Whoa, whoa. Just a kiss goodnight.
Just a kiss goodnight.
Kiss goodnight.
Graham Scott Fleming. Woo! Mackenzie, Leigh, and Meyer on a Lady A cover, Just a Kiss. What a great song and what a great version.
Hey,
That was what we
Way
did
to
it.
go.
We got through.
You have got
like rehearsal.
something off your bucket list.
I
Great.
definitely did.
Me
Yes,
too.
100%. Oh my goodness.
Amazing. And Jeff Brown, of course, he's with us all night.
Mr. Jeff Brown, thank you.
Can't
thank
get
you,
rid of
thank
me.
you.
Bad guess.
I literally sent this man my songs maybe 2 days ago, and he did full guitar, full harmony, full everything.
Oh,
So this guy is
Yeah.
incredible.
The talent on this guy is quite
It's
something.
insane.
Come on. Come
Thank
on.
you for playing.
And you tell
Thank
jokes
you
as
guys
well.
for having me.
And
I
you
do
tell-
tell jokes. Yeah, I
Yeah.
tell
You're
jokes.
kinda
Yeah,
funny,
Tell
I
us
come
one.
with jokes.
Tell us when you won't do
Yeah.
it.
Do you have one right now, or do you want to save it for later?
Like I'm not good at being put on the spot. It kind of just
Yeah, I
it
wasn't
has
giving
to. It kind of has to happen. Well, you know what? This is funny.
Uh-oh.
So we had a socially distanced rehearsal today outside of our apartment in the cold. Yes, we did. Graham came over. We had a beer outside in the cold while we rehearsed that song. And I thought, oh, Alessia just lives like 10 minutes up the road. Let's call her. So to come over and just hang.
Yeah.
And so I text her. I was like, Alessia, what are you doing? She calls me not even 10 seconds after I sent that text. I'm in Bowmanville. I'm like, oh, okay. Are you okay? What's wrong? I'm like, nothing. Graham's just over. We're having a beer outside. We're going to invite you over. Oh, my God, I thought you were going to bail on the gig tonight. I got so worried.
I'm sorry, but getting a last-minute text from your guitar player like hours before the gig.
So there's my joke for the day.
If he
I
was
love
gone,
it.
we
And
would've
you know what I
won.
said? I said, Alessia, it's all good. Oh.
And there's the
Oh,
punchline.
yeah. Wait for it.
There's the punchline. That was well worth waiting for. All right, we'll see if Jeff's got some more amusing stories later. I put him on the spot, man. That was not fair, but he did a great job. Okay, he crushed it, yes. So we're going to watch a bit of a video right now. If Carlos, are you all set? I'll intro it. It's a Garth Brooks video. No, it's a it's a Graham Scott Fleming lyric video for Deja Vu.
Hey.
Thanks, Dave.
Let's see it.
I'm having deja vu at this party. When you walk into the room, got everybody talking. 'Cause they know I'm not over you. They try to take me home and they say that it's not worth it. But what I don't understand is you knew that I was hurting. Why'd you have to go and break me down again? Why'd you have to go so far? Take another piece of this heart. You could've left it with the last goodbye. Why'd you have to show up tonight? I don't wanna be reminded. I'm trying and I'm barely getting by. Why'd you have to go so far? Tonight it's taken every bit of me not to shut it down. Like I did for the last year with you not around. Waving the white flag, still living your name, it's killing me. Now I thought that I would try it, get out and deny it. Have a few drinks just to feel okay. Now you're standing in the room and I'm stuck in deja vu. Why'd you gotta break me down again? Why'd you have to go so far? Take another piece of this heart. You could've left it with the last goodbye. Why'd you have to show up tonight? I don't wanna be reminded. I'm trying and I'm barely getting by. Why'd you have to go so far? Oh, tonight. I'm having deja vu at this party. When you walk into the room, got everybody talking. 'Cause they know I'm not over you. Why'd you have to go so far? Take another piece of this heart. You could've left it with the last goodbye. Why'd you have to show up tonight? I don't wanna be reminded. I'm trying and I'm barely getting by. Why'd you have to go so far? Why'd you have to go so far? I'm having deja vu at this party.
All right, everybody, we'll be right back in just a few moments. Mackenzie, Leigh, Meyer is getting set up on stage. She's coming up next. More great music on the way from the Moonshine Cafe. All right, and welcome back to Country Nights in the City, live from the Moonshine Cafe. Let's have some applause from our our small but enthusiastic crowd made up of the artists and John and Carlos. So it's self-love. We're all applauding ourselves, which is amazing. Country Nights in the City. I'm your host, Dave Woods. Again, it's the Moonshine Cafe, and I know you guys watching know all about it. Such an amazing venue, and we're glad to be back here, even if it's kind of virtually. Virtually for you guys, we're actually here, which is great. It's great to be back in this place.
It is so nice to be back here, Dave. Thank you for having us. Thank you, gents, for having us in this venue. It's lovely to sing live.
It is great to be back in these hallowed halls and enjoying the magic of the music. So, have you learned anything about yourself, Mackenzie? I don't want to make this too tough or too revealing.
Ooh.
During COVID, during lockdown, anything new hobby or anything new about yourself?
I hate that the first thing I thought of was like not happy.
Oh.
I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, I definitely realized that I have way higher anxiety than I thought I did when I was busy. So it's funny when you have a lot of other stuff going on that you kind of, I don't know, I guess like diminish things. Like I'm not worried about stuff all the time because I have so much going on that I'm thinking about all the stuff.
Makes sense.
But when you have nothing going on, I'm like, oh, am I doing enough for my career? Oh, should I have done this thing differently? And I kind of always micromanage my own life. So I guess that's not my best one. But yeah, that's what I realized about myself.
I get that. It's a serious answer, but it's so true. When we're distracted with stuff or passionate about stuff, other stuff that might be bothering us, we can kind of not think about. But when we have all this time on our hands, those things come to the forefront.
Yeah, and definitely for some of my career stuff, I felt that. But
Right.
I'm alive and thriving, so.
Well, that's awesome. And you've got a great song out right now and a video for it as well called Before You.
Hey, yeah, just at radio in January, and yeah, it came out this October. Super happy to finally get that out. Didn't really seem like it because of the pandemic,
Right.
but happy to release it to the world.
Yeah, I know a bit about the history of the song because I was at the CMA Ontario, I guess, conference, and you
Yeah.
played it. I think I'm remembering this correctly. I'm a bit old, but I think I've got it. For Jeff Dalziel, and originally it was called Black Flies.
Yeah, so originally, it was a love song called Black Flies, and kind of in this demo-rama, one of the first things they all said and Jeff said is that he's like, hey, like, this is a love song, like, why is it called Black Flies? Like, is that, it's like not very loving. For those who don't know it, the first word of the chorus is Black Flies, so it was kind of like
Exactly.
the most obvious title, but kind of thinking back on it, you're like, oh yeah, that's not very like, oh, what a love song. Definitely this one's going to be. So yes, Black Flies.
Right. And it's now Before You. And you did a great series on online, on Facebook and that, with couples from the country music world, Patty and Peter being one of them.
Yes.
And Brian and Laura.
Yeah.
And some others, which were great. Tell us about that. You probably got a good response to it.
Yeah, I did what I called my Before You Soulmate series. So I picked a lot of the couples in the scene that I felt really represented that kind of soulmate love story that the song's about. And I'm like, it would be really fun to kind of PR the song by interviewing a bunch of couples and about their love stories.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people, like all the cute couples, but I don't know anything about them. So I took Roadhouse Productions with me, and we went on like a little hike around Ontario and literally filmed almost everyone's video in like the same day. We just kind of like traveled around, and I asked, for those who haven't seen it, I asked all the couples kind of how they met, and then I asked them why they're kind of the one for each other. So yeah, that
Very
was
cool.
super fun.
And are those still available online?
Yeah, they're on the Instagram is the easiest place to find them if you kind of just go to my Insta. And
Another couple I'm thinking of is Nicole and Damon were part of it.
Nicole
Ray.
Nicole Ray and Damon. Who am I missing this? I did Us. We were the last one. Ooh. I feel bad. I think I'm missing one. But yeah, I did. Oh, Jesse Slack and Katie Slack.
Right on.
Yeah. Really
Jesse and
fun.
Katie, yeah.
Yes.
That was a great series. Let's talk about Jeff before we get to the first song, Jeff Dalziel. Actually, we can talk
I was
about.
like,
Yeah.
Jeff.
We'll talk about Jeff. This Jeff later.
There's nothing to talk about with me.
more jokes on the way too, but yeah, Jeff Dalziel, because he obviously had heard that song and he's produced your songs and Before You specifically. What have you learned about the business from Jeff?
Ooh.
And about singing in general or being in a studio?
This is a tricky question. I've learned lots about him, but it's hard to pinpoint. The biggest thing I learned, obviously, because of the role he played in my life, producer, is that how much production matters and how much production
Right.
makes a difference. So definitely because Jeff, like I kind of sort of produced the song before I sent it to him. I had like instruments on it and whatnot. And then the version he put out after that, I was like, oh, that's what a song is supposed to sound like. You know, and it's, I mean, he's just a crazy genius that way. But I learned how much that affects whether or not you like a song. And not that I ever diminished that ever, but I never had it done to one of my own tunes. That's the first
Right.
time I ever worked with a producer. So I'm like, wow, like this is a new song in the best way possible. So thanks, Jeff.
Right on, Jeff Dalziel. Yeah, production, I mean, I guess it goes without saying, but not everybody maybe stops and thinks about it, but it can really make or break a song.
Yeah, it's truer words have never been spoken. Like it
Yeah.
really does. It's night and day.
Incredible. Lots more to talk about with Mackenzie and Jeff on stage as well. Of course, he's here all night.
Still here.
Resident guitar player.
He's going to be right there all night. Well, maybe he'll take a bathroom break when we got a video rolling. But Mackenzie, what song are you going to play first?
I'm gonna start out sassy. We're gonna do one from my Dive Bar Diva EP called "Hope You're Lonely."
Right on.
That shuffle pattern. Eureka, vanity, and whiskey. The kind of sting success can bring. I had no interest in your story. Don't bother asking how I've been. Oh, oh, ain't a fool who'll fall again. You traded honky tonks from bistros, ditched all your friends to drink champagne. So pop the cork to your achievements. With empty chairs you celebrate. Oh, oh, how you liking all that fame. I hope you're lonely at the top. I hope it's full of disappointment. I hope you don't even enjoy it. Oh my, I guess I better stop. I bet you're wishing you had me around. But babe, I'd only drag you down. Don't be too shy to wave down here to me now. When you're feeling kinda lonely at the time. Don't think I've ever been more driven to put somebody in their place. And darling, I might be mistaken. I bet that smirk's gone off your face. Oh, oh, how you liking all that space. I hope you're lonely at the top. I hope it's full of disappointment. I hope you don't even enjoy it. Oh, I guess I better stop. I bet you're wishing you had me around. But babe, I only drag you down. Don't be too shy to wave down here to me now. When you're feeling kinda lonely at the time. Don't play around, you're back in town for the smile you've been missing. Maybe I'll find it in my heart, some part of you worth forgiving. I'm gonna say no. I lonely at the top. I hope it's full of disappointment. I hope you don't even enjoy it. Oh my, I guess I better stop. I bet you wish that you had me around. But babe, I'd only drag you down. Don't be too shy to wave down here when you're feeling kinda lonely at the top.
Right on.
Thank you, friends.
Mackenzie, Leigh, Meyer, and Jeff Brown, Lonely at the Top. Bit of a sass in that song going on. I kind of picked up on.
just a little, yeah.
Just a little
Very
bit.
subtle, but I'm glad you noticed.
Exactly.
Something for the kids.
Does it feel good to write and sing those kind of songs where you're putting it all out there and you're like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean that song is like loosely directed at somebody. So when that came out, or when it came out of me, it was a whole lot of relief, you know. So yeah, it does feel good.
feels good singing it? Did you ever sing it around that person or to that person?
Definitely not to that person. But yeah, I have sung it in the presence of that person without them knowing that it was about them. So
Exactly. That's always
Love doing that.
cool. As a songwriter, you can do that, and maybe the person doesn't know it's about them, but
yes,
But it
I
is.
like to keep it that way.
yeah, isn't that like there's an old Carly Simon song, "You're So Vain," and you probably think the song is about you. So in this case, they don't think the song's about them, but it is.
It's perfect.
Right on. More music coming up from Mackenzie, Leigh, Meyer. Stay tuned. Alessia Cohle is on the way as well.
Woo!
Here at the Moonshine Cafe, I'm Dave Woods. Let's get into your influences, Mackenzie.
Ooh.
Who are the artists along the way and starting out when you first started in music that made you want to do this?
Okay. Definitely growing up, when I first got into country, I loved Gretchen Wilson.
Right on.
Yeah, she was my first. Okay, there's two. So Gretchen Wilson, I loved Redneck Woman. That was right when that song came up.
Yeah.
Is when I kind of got into country. I was now born and raised country, sorry. But I fell in love with the genre. So her, I loved her attitude. She's very badass. I don't know if I can
You can say
use
that.
a curse on the mic
We apologize
here.
to the kids.
Sorry, kids. I really admired her kind of like outlaw attitude about
Yeah.
music. The first country band I ever came by was the Pistol Annies. And
Yeah.
they had just put out Hell on Heels. And
Right.
my mom, what she used to do, she used to take like the top 30 most downloaded songs on iTunes, or I don't know, 20, whatever fits on a CD.
Yeah.
Burn them onto a CD, and then we'd listen to them in the car, and that was the music we were listening to. So I heard everything on the same CD, from Jesus Walks by Kanye West to Hell on Wheels, which, if you know, both those songs are very different. But that's how I stumbled on the Pistol Annies, and that was probably my first like rootsy country band that I
Yeah.
was like, wow, these guys are awesome. So yeah, it's been those two probably my early influences.
Yeah, interesting influences because they're both sassy artists and acts.
Yeah, they're both really sassy and very different at the same
Yeah.
time. You know, you can be subtle sass, which I'll kind of give Hell on Heels that credit, and then you can Gretchen Wilson, which is like really in your face.
Yeah,
So,
Redneck Woman. I remember hearing that on the radio the first time years and years ago,
yeah.
and just thinking it was such a great song, so catchy.
Yeah, and I mean, once upon a time when we used to play live, I used to throw that in my set, and people still, like, it's an old song, but
Yeah.
people are still like, about
Yeah.
the tune, and I'm like, yes, my people. So, yeah, love that song. Love both those artists.
And your sound, would you describe it as roots country?
Yeah, I like to say neo roots.
Okay.
I pull on roots, like, I could like to say progressions and instrumentation, but I definitely have a pretty, I mean, the stuff I'm putting out will have more of a poppy sound than kind of a
Okay.
traditional, I don't don't know, roots sound, but I want to keep the same instrumentation and the same harmony, I guess. So
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
neo roots.
Neo roots. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
Is that a
so
thing, or did you invent it?
I kind of invented it. I mean, I'm sure it's a thing. I'm sure I didn't invent it, but I thought that was most fitting for me. So yeah.
Very cool. Is there any artist that you would like to meet, Mackenzie, to talk with about the
Ooh.
business?
I'd love to meet Casey Musgraves.
Nice.
I mean, she's kind of like my idol in all aspects. But yeah, I think she would have cool stuff to say and kind of be a good person to talk to about kind of paving your own path without kind of, I don't know,
Yeah.
trying to be the norm of
Follow
what's-
your own arrow, something like that.
something like that. That sounds awful familiar.
Hey, let's
yeah,
work on that.
That would be just it. She'd be the right person to talk to about
Yeah.
following your arrow. So.
Yeah. Did she also do that beautiful song? And I hope I don't. Rainbows.
Yes, it's Rainbow. That's so fun. I heard the first time I ever heard her perform that, she was touring her first album, so 2 albums before she actually released that tune. She
Right.
did it as like a moment in her show where it's just her playing new songs. She's like, I'm gonna play this new one. It was Rainbow, and I'm like, that's such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And then she released it, so I was so happy about that. But
That's awesome.
anyways.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Let's hear another song from Mackenzie and Jeff. What have you got for us?
Yeah, speaking of slow, sad songs, let's do More Than a Memory, which is another one off my Dive by Diva EP. And yeah, this is kind of just about breakup songs, about kind of like wondering how someone turned out after you stopped hanging out with them and just kind of hoping the best for them, and I guess wondering if you made the right decision in breaking up. Yeah, so this is called More Than a Memory.
Right on.
I'm wearing my sitting shoes. They're not great for standing on the chair here. Okay, got it.
It's been a couple years now. We've moved on with our lives, but still something about you keeps me up at night, leaves me staring at the ceiling, wondering if this is right. I think about your laughter, how it echoed down the hall, and I'd love again to hear, but I'm too afraid to call, 'cause I know that you'll be laughing, but in someone else's arms. Still I wonder where we'd be if your heart still longed for me. And I'm glad you're out there growing up, but I can't help but wish your love was more than a memory. We probably have a White House like the one we dreamed about. I'll be burning all my dinners, still trying to figure it all out. And I hope you go and live that dream, but it's someone else's now. Still I wonder where we'd be if your heart still longed for me. And I'm glad you're out there growing up, but I can't help but wish your love was more than a memory. Jeff Brown.
Still I wonder where we'd be if your heart still longed for me. And I know you keep on growing up, leave me wishing that your love was more than a memory. More than a memory. Was more than a
All right, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Sounded amazing. More than a memory.
Hey, thanks,
From
Dave.
Mackenzie Lee Meyer and Jeff Brown. Man, that is such a lovely song. Do you have people tell you about that song in particular, how much it means to them and what it does for them?
Yeah, I mean, definitely that song, kind of more than my other ones, kind of gets the whoa. That's definitely, I believe you when you sing that.
Yeah.
That's the comment I get. They believed it happened, which honestly for me as an artist is kind of the only thing I want to hear is that what I felt people are feeling. So yeah,
That is a great compliment that they felt it and they believed it.
Yeah.
Another one that does it for me as well, makes me feel it, is Make You Feel Something. Funny enough.
It's almost like the name was hoping for that to happen.
Yeah, no coincidence there.
Yeah, that's another one of my feelers for sure, in a totally different way, but yeah, it's a feel to
Yeah,
me.
that is a great song. Let's talk about you guys being in the business as a couple, because a lot of times somebody dates somebody who's not in the business, which is cool, but you guys can understand each other a little more in the demands and just how the whole thing works. Talk about that.
I mean, I met Jeff in the business. I hired him, for those who don't know our story, I hired him for a gig because we were friends on Facebook and I saw him singing, and my guitar player had just quit my band, and I'm like, wow, that guy can really sing, and I really needed a good singer. Guitar players, if you just play guitar, that's awesome, but a really good singer and really good guitar player. Those
Get out of your
okay.
bedrooms.
That's right. I had to replace Chris Bray, which those people who know Chris Bray, he's an unbelievable guitar player. And
Amazing.
singer.
Very
So-
good.
So I heard Jeff singing in this one video, and I'm like, oh my god, that guy can really sing. And I'm like, hey, like, I've got like a weekend we were playing at this place called the Stampede Corral in Kitchener, and I'm like, I have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday there. Do you want to play with me? And he's like, yeah. And then we just kind of like hit it off, instant pals. He was a good fit for our band. We were good friends, and then like one thing led to another.
One thing led to another.
Go on. We got
Yeah,
time.
we got time.
And we're still good friends.
We're still my good friend Jeff. But
She always introduced me. This is my good friend Jeff Brown.
yeah, well, I don't know.
Like,
This
oh,
is
yeah,
my
we're
sweet
great friends.
baby Jeff. Yeah, I don't know.
Sweet baby sounds
doesn't
good.
roll off the tongue quite as casually. But yeah, obviously having a partner that's in the business, it's really easy to understand some of the issues that other relationships sometimes have with a performer. Like,
Yeah.
oh, why are those guys looking at you on stage? Oh, and like, oh, and like vice versa. Like, oh, those girls were like flashing you. I mean,
Get out of town.
yeah, that's never happened. But yeah, so like you kind of understand that you're just there to kind of do your job, and like, and then yeah, and like when you go away for tours, I kind of understand how important that is, and I'm not like, oh well, thanks for leaving me at home, which I know some people could get that way.
Most of the time, she's quite happy when I go on the road.
Yeah, I'm like,
What happens though is I come back and she says, I love it when you're out there playing, but what bothers me is you keep coming back.
There's one of Jeff's jokes. Everybody.
Yeah. That qualifies as your second joke. Oh man, that is awesome. Well, it's great to hear about that because we all love you as a couple, and I know everybody watching does as well. I'm sure they'll put comments to that effect.
Oh.
But so you guys are a great couple, and you sound great together too, which is perfect.
Yeah, that kind of worked out. So thanks for not sucking.
Well, I still practice every day.
As a boyfriend and as a guitar player.
Oh yeah.
Mostly of the first one.
My cooking's getting great.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. What's your specialty?
Oh, this should be good.
I actually like to make a lot of Mexican food, believe it or not.
Oh
Ooh.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff's go-to. For those who don't know,
I'm great with Italian dishes too.
Right.
I make a
Pasta.
fantastic vegan lasagna. I will brag about that.
Is that considered like an Italian dish? Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry.
Well,
lasagna.
Alessia is saying no. Yeah. She's
I mean,
saying
he does,
no.
though. He does make an awesome vegan lasagna. I'm vegan, for those who are wondering why Jeff would go out of his way to make a vegan lasagna. But yeah, it's really good. So.
I make a good chicken parm too.
Right on. We look forward to having some of that someday. You can bring it along for the gang. Let's talk a bit about songwriting, Mackenzie. How young were you, and when did you start, and did you love it right away, as far back as you can remember?
Yeah, for me, I would actually say I did as far back as I can remember.
Yeah.
I grew up playing piano, but I hated practicing. I went through Royal Conservatory. I hated kind of doing the really,
The
kind of like
skills and-
really lame, like theory-based songs. They don't sound nice. But whenever I had a song that I heard that I loved, I'm like, oh, I'll learn this by myself because it's such a good song. So when it came to creating, like I'm really mediocre at any instrument that I play, but I've always loved creating on instruments. So I started writing little piano etudes, they're called. They're like mini songs for
Okay.
those who don't know. And when I learned how to sing, it kind of just translated into my teenage angst down on paper to piano. So yeah, as early as I can remember, I always kind of wrote what I was feeling.
And do you remember the first song that you wrote that you thought was a really good song? Because I know the first ones aren't so good.
I mean, yes, and I don't think it's a good song now. Yeah, I mean, what was it called? Oh, this is a good
You
one.
remember?
I don't remember the first one. I remember the one that I performed. I had one song called Not Anymore. I don't know. It was like an angsty tune. I was like mad at my parents for something. And yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, it's like the most like basic lyric writing you could, I don't know, come up with. But
Right,
I,
but it was pretty good, all
It-
things considered.
me at the time, I was like, yeah, what a great song. I'd like to think now that I've grown, so it does to me seem like a bad song, which I appreciate because that means that I'm probably a better writer than I was. So
That is a good thing to look back, and the song you thought was good is not as good because you're writing better, so I totally get that.
yes.
Let's get to some more music. Specifically, I know we're coming up to your single, Before You, which is out there. And it's available on all streaming platforms, of course. People can check it out. There's a video for it that we talked about. The video is cool because we've got Jeff in it, and we got a great actor / comedian. We all know him, Damon. Is in that as well. He's in a few videos.
Damon, I know. He's also, I basically stole him from Alessia. He was in Alessia's video.
That's
for
right, in All Good.
And AJ Astle, who's kind of the videographer for that, him
Yeah.
and Johnny. Like, I kind of need like a male like counterpart to Jeff in this video that's kind of plays like the bad guy or like the ex-boyfriend, for
Right.
lack of a better term. AJ's like, oh, Damon's like a good actor. So I like messaged him being like, hey, Damon, AJ says you're a horrible person and I need like a really mean guy for this video.
No acting. Yeah, no.
So he's like, but anyways, obviously he's not. And he was a
Yeah,
really,
he's
really
a great actor.
Yeah, he
great
did an
comedian
awesome,
too.
Yes, and he's so funny. I wish I got to kind of highlight that a bit more in his role, but unfortunately he was kind of the sad ex-boyfriend. So
That's awesome. He should be in more videos, and hopefully he will be because he does a great job.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll hire him for all my future videos. I'll tell you that for free.
Right on. Well, let's get to the song now, and we
Yeah.
can't wait to hear it. It's called Before You, and it's the new single from Mackenzie Leigh Meyer.
All right, we practiced this one today. All right,
Practice on the dobro.
that's true. He didn't bring the dobro,
Didn't
but
practice it on the guitar.
next time. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You're on the phone saying you're headed home, even though I know you're on the way. The food on the stove used to get cold. He was always coming home late. That's all I knew of love.
Was butterflies, not butterflies, birds, not bouquets, storms without rainbows, just rain. But true love's a game only fools care to play. Till someone somewhere someday will make everything change. I'm not used to a guy who's grateful for the time, the cleaning of the house, or paying rent, the fear of getting by, daily stress of life. With you, it all just seems so different. All that I knew of love before you came was butterflies, not butterflies, and birds, not bouquets, storms without rainbows, just rain. But true love's a game only fools care to play. Till someone somewhere someday will make everything and all that it takes is a little patience and faith to find one who change. Black flies to butterflies and birds to bouquets will bring you the sun and a whole lot of rain. But true love's a game only fools care to play. Till someone somewhere someday will make everything. Nothing makes everything. Nothing makes everything. Nothing change.
Right on.
Hey, thank you guys.
Mackenzie, Leigh, Meyer, the new single is called Before You. Great to have both of you on the stage, Mackenzie and Jeff.
Thank you so much for having us,
Thank you
Dave. This has been a
guys, yeah.
blast.
Yeah, this is awesome. Jeff is going to stick around, of course, because
I'm still here.
He's not going anywhere. But Mackenzie, thank you for so much. We wish you all the best with the single and the video, and great things are still on the way for you.
Well, thank you, Dave. I hope so.
Believe it. Believe me. That is awesome. I know everybody enjoyed your performances watching. And I'll just let everyone know who is watching. There is a donation link or a tip jar, if you want to call it that. If you got a couple extra bucks, you can send it there, and the money will be split among the artists themselves. So that's a great thing to do if you can. Let's see. We've got Alessia Cohle coming up next, everybody. Alessia Cohle, the pride of Mississauga.
Woo woo.
Look at that, eh?
Believe it, girl.
She's coming up next, but let's check out that video we talked about from Mackenzie Leigh Meyer for Before You. I don't know if I gave you enough time, Carlos, to cue it up, but
Hey.
he's ready. Carlos is the man. Here it comes, Mackenzie Leigh Meyer.
You're on the phone saying you're headed home, even though I know you're on the way. The food on the stove used to get cold. He was always coming home late. That's all I knew of love before you came. Was black flies, not butterflies, and birds, not bouquets, storms without rainbows, just rain. But true love's a game only fools care to play, till someone somewhere to play. With you, it all just seems so different. All that I knew of love before you came was black flies, not butterflies, birds, not bouquets, storms without rainbows, just rain. But true love's a game only fools care to play, till someone somewhere someday makes everything and nothing change. And all that it takes is a little patience and faith to find the one who'll change. Black flies to butterflies and birds to bouquets will bring you the sun and a whole lot of rain. When true love's a game only fools care to play, till someone somewhere someday will make everything and nothing makes everything and nothing makes everything and nothing change.
All right, folks, we'll be back very shortly with Alessia Cohle here at the Moonshine Cafe, Country Nights in the City. All right, and welcome back to the Moonshine Cafe on Kerr Street in Oakville, the legendary Moonshine Cafe. This is Country Nights in the City. I'm your host, Dave Woods. I also host a podcast and some live streams at In the Country with Dave Woods on Facebook and everywhere else, or a lot of places anyway. Maybe not everywhere. But all right, let's head to the stage. We have our third guest tonight. It's Alessia Cohle. Hey there.
Hello. Thanks, guys.
The artists here are enthusiastic. They're doubling as our audience.
We also love each other, like genuinely love each other. So
Yeah,
it's-
there's a lot
it's
of
real.
love.
It's a lot of love going on.
A lot of love going on
We're
tonight.
kinda
It's like a lasagna,
Vegan, of course.
a vegan lasagna.
Yes, thank you.
There we go. I'm cutting into Jeff's jokes. All right. But also on the stage, of course, Jeff Brown is still here.
Oh, I'm still
thankfully.
here. I haven't slept yet. Been up all night.
He's learned a lot of songs. He's played on all these songs tonight, like 10 songs or something. Mackenzie Leigh Meyer is joining us back on stage.
I just won't leave, so.
So we got a whole bunch of folks, and they're going to, it's like a group almost. It's Alessia's group. Kind of.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know where to go with that, but
Alessia Cohle Band.
Alessia and special guests. All right.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. We got it. All right, let's get on with chatting and get the nonsense over with. All right. Alessia, let's talk about your start in music. I remember you talking quite a bit, and other people I'm sure have. Shania Twain was a big start for you to pursue music.
Yes, so my mom took me to my very first concert ever, and it was Shania Twain, her Come On Over tour, and I was 8 years old, and I pointed to the stage, and I was like, that is what I'm going to do. And my
Wow.
mom went, well, okay. And here we are.
That is amazing how that early. Do you remember at that age what it was that you were specifically liking about the show?
Just her. Everything
Yeah.
she did, every word, everyone hung on her every word when she was singing and speaking. And I vividly remember her coming around the stadium on this like velvet pillow
Right.
that people, like these dudes were holding her up on. Not that I need that or anything, but I mean, that would be nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, they just, everyone hung on her every word and just the way she made everybody feel in the audience. I think that's what attracted me the most to performing, is that
Right.
feeling that everybody got. And so I want to do that for others.
Right on. And what are some of the things you've done along the way, Alessia? I know you went to school for, I think it was university. Talk about that, because that was a big deal in crafting your music.
So I went to Western for music education, and I was kind of always the black sheep because it was classical music that I was studying.
Okay.
And then there's, you go walk through the practice rooms and everyone's singing all of this operatic, beautiful classical music, and then there's me singing show tunes and, musicals and pop music, and everyone was like, what are you doing? I was like, this is where I actually thrive, is this black sheep music from the school. And then from there, I went to Berklee College of Music for my master's degree, which was really freaking awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I was part of the inaugural class, which was amazing, and just really learned where I fit in the music world, or where I felt the most at home. And that's where I really, truly decided, oh, I do write songs also. Like, this is also something I can do.
Okay.
Because I kind of dabbled in high school and never thought much of it. And it wasn't until Berklee that I was like, oh, this is fun, like genuinely fun.
Right on. And what was the first moment that you remember on stage, like, later on in your career, where you thought, it's coming together, this feels good, like you feel like you've arrived, more to learn, but that you arrived at that point?
I'm not sure I've had that true feeling yet, but there was a moment at one of my release shows that they were singing my lyrics at me. I was like, this is the coolest
That's
thing
cool.
ever. And that's probably my ultimate like dream I've like made it moment, is having everyone in the audience just like with me like not singing and have them singing.
Right
I'm
on.
like, can't wait for that moment, and it's happening. I'm manifesting it now. It's gonna happen.
Yes, definitely. What song are you going to start us off with?
I'm gonna start off with "Tell You." This one I wrote with Jason Blaine, as Dave is well aware. But this song is my little song that could. It debuted at 75 on Canadian country radio.
Wow.
Which was, thanks,
That
which was
deserves
really
some applause.
awesome. It was really awesome as a female independent artist. So I'm very, very proud of this one. And here we go.
Did he tell you when you first met how he wanted to get to know your smile? Did he tell you as you sip beer that he'd been here, but it had been a while? Did he tell you that night, oh how your eyes shine like the stars? Next thing you know, you let yourself go, get wrapped in his arms. Did he tell you that he loves you? Did he say that you're the only one? Did he tell you that he needs you? Like a devil with a silver tongue. Did he whisper sweet nothings, making you love him, calling you baby? Did he tell you about me? Did he tell you about his hometown, about his home team, and the time they would stay? Did he tell you about his old band and their big plans to go all the way? Did he turn on the charm, say you got his heart, make you believe it? I'll sweep you off your feet till you're in so deep you couldn't see it. Did he tell you that he loves you? Did he say that you're the only one? Did he tell you that he needs you? Like a devil with a silver tongue. Did he whisper sweet nothings, making you love him, calling you baby? Did he tell you about me? Did he tell you that he loves you? Did he say that you're the only one? Did he tell you that he needs you? Like a devil with a silver tongue. Did he whisper sweet nothings, making you love him, calling you baby? Did he tell you about me? Oh, did he tell you? Oh, did he tell you? Hey, did he tell you about me? Did he tell you?
Alessia Cohle with Tell You.
Thank you. And Mackenzie and Jeff.
Mackenzie and Jeff, of course. And now you, as you mentioned, you wrote the song with Jason Blaine, a big Ontario country artist with so many hits and a great writer and a great guy. Tell us about the writing with Jason.
He's so cool. He's just such a genuine, awesome dude. I was so nervous going in there. It was my first time writing with him, which to me is crazy because I never love things I write all the time. So it's like, oh, well, you know, it was the first time. Because sometimes the first time writing with someone, it could either be amazing or it could be not great.
Right.
But this, I'm very lucky. It turned out amazing. Well, I think it did. But
We agree.
thank you. He's just such a genuine, awesome dude. Was very open to my ideas. He didn't really take the rein and write it where you're just kind of like participate with a couple words here and there. It was truly like a 50-50, which I was really proud of.
Yeah, to be able to sit down with a writer at his level must have. So does that something like that give you confidence afterwards?
Oh, totally. I left there feeling like I was the queen of the world. I was like, this is the coolest thing. I came down real quick, but I mean,
You had the
at the
moment.
moment.
That is awesome. Is there anybody you have on a dream songwriters list? Because I usually ask about duet partners, but is there a songwriter you want to get in a room with and create something?
Shane McNally and
Nice.
Josh Osborne. You know, Matthew Ramsey. All of them. All of them. I love his writing style. I mean, they write all of the huge hits that you hear on the radio, and not just for that reason. I really just love their writing and how they write.
Is there anything you've learned about songwriting from the beginning, Alessia, till now? Maybe one thing that this is what you should avoid or this is what you should do?
For me, anyways, because every songwriter's experience is obviously different. For me, when I first started, I knew nothing. I was
Okay.
like, I didn't, ever. Something's happening over there. Oh. All good.
Right on, a little
It's
side
all good.
conversation.
Um,
It's all good.
It's all. Oh, ba-dum.
Man, that's coming up.
I do it all the time. For me, songwriting, I just wrote very literally, but not conversationally when I first
Okay.
started. I have now learned there is a big difference. And I think the songs that I connect to the most are the most conversational. So I try to incorporate that. And for me, I try to incorporate at least a little bit of truth, of my truth, in every song that I write.
That is wonderful. And have you had one of your songs maybe tell you specifically, or any other song where somebody said they could relate to it and it really became their song?
I've had a couple. The Talk to Me album, Separate Ways, someone told me that they just really felt that one.
Wow.
I was like, wow, okay, cool. And someone, they were going through a rough time in their life, and they actually sent me a message, and I didn't know this person prior, and they sent me a message saying that my music like helps them through a dark period in their life, and I was like bawling on the other side of
Wow.
my phone. I was like, this
Yeah.
is the coolest. Like, wow. And I mean, we've since become friends, so that's really cool too. So it brought me some friends.
That is awesome. I love that.
Gay music.
Yeah. Go music, go. Everybody agree? Everybody in the back? All right.
Yeah.
In the front? All right. What are you going to sing for us next, Alessia?
Jeff, what did I send you?
I'll ask Jeff that.
It's a new one. I've only sung this a handful of times. I hope I remember it. This is 5x7. This is kind of that's kind of funny that I was just talking about my truth in music. This is kind of my life song. This is all
I've
very
heard-
true.
I've heard it on this stage before, and it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, I hope I do it justice.
Guitar was in tune when I bought it.
I was gonna say I appreciate
There we
a
go.
guitar player that tunes their guitar.
All right, here we go.
My first set of swings, man, I sure love that thing. Brings back the feeling of flying high. I swear I could touch that sky. My first high school dance, my date sure was a catch. I wonder where he's been. Don't know why we stopped talking. These paintings on paper remind me to savor every little moment that I can. 'Cause next thing I know, I'm walking down memory lane, taking in my yesterdays, flashback way back when, to all the seasons I had lived. Times have been good, yeah, it's so clear as day, 'cause they're all wrapped up in these picture frames. And for a split second, I'm reliving that 5x7. Oh, what I wouldn't give to see Granddad once again and play his favorite song on the keys, just like he taught me. These paintings on paper remind me to savor every little moment that I can. 'Cause next thing I know, I'm walking down memory lane, taking in my yesterdays, flashback way back when, to all the seasons I have lived. Times have been good, yeah, it's so clear as day, 'cause they're all wrapped up in these picture frames. And for a split second, I'm
back when. To all the seasons I have lived, times have been good, yeah, it's so clear as day. 'Cause they're all wrapped up in these picture frames. And for a split second, I'm reliving that 5x7. Yeah, I'm reliving.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Mississauga's own Alessia Cohle with 5x7. That to me.
That's my favorite
Thank you.
Alessia song.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think
Jeff, you're
so.
muted. You can tune.
Who's someone's what? What? The voice of God has spoken.
Recorded.
It is going to be recorded. I currently have a demo of it, which
Okay.
I'm very excited about. Yes, I'm actually working on new music. It's been,
Ooh.
I mean, quarantine and lockdowns and craziness has been so different for everyone. And for me, I kind of was on a roll with inspiration, and then halfway through quarantine, I just kind of like, I was like, I give up. Like this, I'm not motivated. I'm not inspired by
Right.
anything. And I even tried to write about that, about not being inspired. So I was like, well, maybe I can turn this into something. And that wasn't even working. I was like, maybe I just need to push pause for a hot second. So I finished the demos in the meantime and just kind of put songwriting on a quick little pause. But I am working on new music. So that will be released somewhat soonish,
Great.
I hope. Yay!
That is great, exciting news. And who are you working with on the music?
Jordan Honsinger produced the demos, and
Right
he
on.
did honestly such a great job. Shout out to Jordan.
Hey,
that
Jordan.
They sound like I could release them now. Like they don't sound like what a demo is supposed to sound like.
Right.
He really went above and beyond with them. So I'm pumped. I'm so excited.
That's great. The cool thing is you guys are all working with great people, from your producers to your video guys. You're connected with
We
good
really
people.
are. I'm so grateful and lucky that like I have like these humans in my life.
Right back at you.
I mean, we say it to each other sometimes, and it's really nice to hear also when you like Mackenzie was mentioning earlier, where sometimes it's like a vicious cycle where you're like you feel like you're on top of the world. You've just released new music and it's great, and then you come down to the bottom of that circle. And I think everyone can agree with me here that you're like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this correctly? Like, should I be doing like all of those questions enter your
Right.
brain? So it's really nice to have people to genuinely lean on that understand it and aren't in competition and actually like want to see us all succeed. So
That-
go
That is
Friends.
so great, and I hear that all the time. We all do in the country music world, especially. It is such a family, supportive of each other. As you said, not competition. It's wanting the other one to succeed, and that is a beautiful thing.
It is. There's room. I genuinely believe there's room for all of us. Sometimes, country radio and society and social media have told us otherwise. That oh, you have to be better than everybody else. It's like, no, we're all very different. We're all very unique, and I really believe there's room for all of us. We just need to make our own.
Yeah.
We all collectively will just break down all of the barriers.
I love that. That is awesome. And you come from a musical family, so this obviously, and I have met your parents, that obviously contributes to where you are now.
Well, they like to say so to all the time to me. They're like, if it weren't for me, I'm like, yes, I know, I'm fully aware. Yeah, my grandfather, my dad's dad was a singer. My mom's dad was an accordion player, and they were in a band before my parents were even born together. So I think
Wow.
like the universe just like had a plan for them, for sure. And my dad's a bass player and sings. My uncle's a drummer. My mom plays piano. My aunt plays piano. Like, it's just, we all, I don't even really think I had a choice. It's just music was just in me from day one.
It's destiny. I love
think
that.
so.
What a great story. Let's turn to your current single, which is such a positive song. The video is amazing as well. This is really helping people, and I'll let you talk more about that. The song is called All Good, and it is on all streaming platforms, and you can request it at your local country station. Tell us about this wonderful song.
Thank you. So the video production is Roadhouse Productions. We've mentioned AJ and Johnny quite a bit this evening, but they are wonderful human beings. And it's also produced by The Agenda as well,
Right
that we've
on.
chatted about. So go team.
Yeah.
I wrote this. I had a weird freak accident happen. A tree, it sounds made up, but this really large tree fell on
Oh, man.
my friend's house while we were inside, and it was chaotic and crazy, and I had an out-of-body experience, and
Oh, my God.
it was not great. But we all came out of it okay. Everyone is good, and throughout the whole time, I was like watching myself like run around, but I kept saying, "It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good." That's all I could keep saying. That, and I have pants, because the fire department was like, "You can't go back inside." And in my head, I was thinking, like, because it was in Nashville, so I'm like, I'm here for a writing trip. I was in, like, my pajamas. I was like, I can't show up to a writing session wearing these pajama pants. So in my head, I was like, I'm fine because I have pants. Thinking, like, I have my jeans, like, in my car, so, like, I'm good for the rest of the 2 weeks that I'm here. It was like the beginning of my trip. So those are the two things I kept repeating. I was definitely in shock. But a couple days later, I kept my writing sessions, and Victoria Boland, Andrew Rudd, and Brian Mello sat down with me, two Canadians and an Aussie, but we have claimed him officially. We sat down, and they're like, "Oh, you know what's going on," and we've become really good friends. And I explained what had just happened, and I kept repeating, "But it's all good. It's all good." And they're like, "Alessia, I think that's our song." So we wrote it, and it kind of helped me come down from the shock. So long-winded, I'm really sorry, everyone. Long-winded story short, I wanted to release it. I just never knew when the right time was. And throughout this pandemic, I was like, we all just need a little pick-me-up and just need a little hope back in our lives. So I decided to release it past fall. And I'm very excited with how it's doing, and it's been well received. And the Glimpse kids, I need to shout out to the Glimpse kids. They, Rob, who is this wonderful grade 3 teacher in Toronto, reached out to me, and he has formed the Glimpse kids, and they are spreading positivity throughout the GTA. Oh, hi, sorry, I'm not staring at the right camera. Wow. Glimpse Kids, Rob, if you're listening, shout out to you guys. I did a show with them recently. I was interviewed with them, and I'm doing Glimpse Palooza. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to announce that, but I'm going to announce it here first. I'm going to be playing Glimpse Palooza this June. And I'm very, very excited. They're spreading positivity throughout the GTA. They're grade 3, so they're like 8 and 9-year-olds. And talking with them was like the highlight of the year. So I'm very excited with what All Good did. So that I don't need to talk anymore.
Let's hear
play
it. Let's
some
hear.
music.
Let's hear this awesome song. Alessia Cohle, everybody.
Looking in the mirror, trying to get it right. The world just fell apart, and you don't know why. It's all good. Broken like glass lying on the floor, so hard to put it back like it was before. It's all good. Sometimes there's nowhere to run, no place to hide. When it all goes wrong, you just gotta find that something right. There's
There's a reason, there's a why now. Sometimes you don't see it till you slow down, and you can't let go when you're 10 feet off the ground. When it don't make sense, hard to understand, running out of hope, cause it hurts so bad. Well, your tear-stained shirt is gonna dry out. It's gonna be all good. It's all good. Holding up the walls when there's nothing left. You don't need to break, you just need a breath. It's all good. Oh, it ain't fair or straight, it ain't black or white. There's a little color between those lines. It's all good. Oh, there's a reason, there's a why now. Sometimes you don't see it till you slow down, and you can't let go when you're 10 feet off the ground. When it don't make sense, hard to understand, running out of hope, cause it hurts so bad. When your tear-stained shirt is gonna dry out. It's gonna be all good. So good. All good. Hey, it's so good. Sometimes there's nowhere to run, no place to hide when it all goes wrong. It's gonna be all good. It's all good. Oh, there's a reason, there's a why now. Sometimes you don't see it till you slow down, and you can't let go when you're 10 feet off the ground. When it don't make sense, hard to understand, running out of hope, cause it hurts so bad. Well, your tear-stained shirt is gonna dry out. It's gonna be all good. Hey, it's all good.
Woo!
Thanks, guys.
Alessia Cohle with All Good, joined by Mackenzie Leigh Meyer and Jeff Brown. We've got Jeff on stage all night.
Still here.
Downtown
Yeah.
Jeff Brown.
There.
Your shirt should read "Still Here." I'm still here.
I'm still here.
Yeah. He's not going anywhere. And Alessia, I wanted to ask you before we get to a bonus song, because this is kind of a non-planned thing, and we're going to have everybody distanced, I think, or Graham? Maybe not. Okay.
We're still trying to convince Graham to join
All right.
us.
Maybe not Graham. We're going to have like 2/3, 3/4 of performing. And so we'll see how that goes. But goals, Alessia, what would you like to accomplish? Obviously, with COVID, it makes a lot of things tough. But 2021, what would you like to have happen for your music career?
I would like to release another song out to the world.
Nice.
That is, I'm trying to go with like small attainable goals right now, because I have
Yep.
I have a lot of stuff going on up here that I want to accomplish. But
course.
yeah, I'm trying to think big and then kind of reel it in to get to the ultimate main goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, my goal for 2021 is to release 1 to 2 more songs this year.
Nice.
That's my goal.
Right on. My final question, and I ask this a lot on the show, have you turned friends or family onto country music who weren't country fans before? I always love hearing those stories.
I did, because like Mackenzie, didn't grow up with country.
Right.
I grew up literally, well, it was everything with the musical family. My dad brought us up with a lot of Motown, soul, classic rock,
Nice.
funk, because that's, it's where the bass thrives, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But I just country made sense for me when I was figuring out which direction I wanted to go in. And a lot of my friends, none of them really listened to country. And they're like, "You're doing what?" I'm like, "Well, you love me, so you're gonna support me." And they all came to the shows and they're like, oh, this is cool. And so then I started really playing it all of the time. I turned to my parents. Like, they always loved country music, but I really turned them on more into country music.
Nice.
Still working on my brother.
Okay.
We're still working on him. But yeah, one of my music friends who lives in he lived in the jazz world and has kind of come to the pop world. I play with him sometimes if I need like another male singer, whatever.
Yep.
We've been friends since we were little, singing together, and I'm like, "Yo, come play on a gig." He's like, "Are we playing country music?" I'm like, "We sure are, buddy. Let's go."
Come on.
And he really, I had him sing lead on one of the country tunes that we did, and he was like, "Okay, I get it." I was like, "All right."
Wow.
Yeah, he was
He got
like, the
it.
melodies, like in the, like he goes, "Okay, I get it." I was like, "All right, yes, another one."
Another convert. I love it.
Convert.
What a great story. Now, so this song that we didn't plan on the schedule, maybe you don't even have it planned out fully yet.
I guess we
Yeah.
can't come closer.
Take your places.
Are we good? I guess we can't come closer. COVID. My
That's
bad.
probably good.
I
Yeah.
got really excited. I was like, "Oh, no, just kidding." This is a tune that I play quite often, actually. It's a cover tune by one of my favorite current artists, Meyer. I don't think she wrote this one, but she sings on it, and it's badass. Oh, oops. Sorry, children.
I already said it.
Oops.
Go to bed, kids.
Yeah, it's past your bedtime. I love this tune, and I love Mackenzie's voice. And we were sitting, and I was like, "Why don't we just like sing more music, because
Yeah.
we've been deprived for a really long time."
Oh, yeah.
And
Right
so,
on.
you know. Do you want to sing the first verse or second?
I've got second pulled up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's very impromptu, guys.
Love it. Right on the fly.
Yeah, we're sure. Take a seat right over there, sat on the stairs, stay or leave. The cabinets are bare and I'm unaware of just how we got into this mess. Got so aggressive, I know we meant all good intentions. So pull me closer, why don't you pull me close? Why don't you come on over? I can't just let you go. Oh, baby, why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little. So why don't you just meet me in the middle? In the middle. Oh, baby, why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little. So why don't you just meet me in the middle? In the middle. Oh, take a step back for a minute into the kitchen, floors away. And cabinets are running, dishes are broken. How did we get into this mess? Got so aggressive, I know we meant all good intentions. So pull me closer, why don't you pull me close? Why don't you come on over? I can't just let you go. Oh, baby, why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little. So why don't you just meet me in the middle? In the middle. That's you, I can't lie. Just holding my admission, regardless my objection. And it's not about my pride. I need you
my skin just come over, pull me in just. Oh, baby, why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little. So why don't you just meet me in the middle? In the middle, no, baby. Why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little. So why don't you just meet me in the middle? In the middle, oh baby. Why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little. So why don't you just meet me in the middle, middle, in the middle, middle?
Woo! Right on. Alessia Cohle, Mackenzie, Leigh, Meyer, Jeff Brown. Man, a great cover of that song. I didn't want that to end. It's so catchy.
I'm obsessed with it. Low key. Low-key obsessed with that song.
It is just an awesome song. All right, before we say goodnight and thank you to everybody, we're going to look at Alessia's video for her song, All Good. Check it out. It's a great song and a great video. Carlos is just going to cue it. I was almost going to do that. All right, let me keep talking. This is Country Nights in the City. I'm your host, Dave Woods. All right, take it away, Carlos.
Looking in the mirror, trying to get it right. Your world just fell apart and you don't know why. It's all good. Broken like glass lying on the floor. So hard to put it back like it was before. It's all good. Sometimes there's nowhere to run, no place to hide. When it all goes wrong, you just gotta find that something right. There's a reason, there's a why now. Sometimes you don't see it till you slow down, and you can't let go when you're 10 feet off the ground. When it don't make sense, hard to understand, running out of hope, cause it hurts so bad. Well, your tear-stained shirt is gonna dry out. It's gonna be all good. It's all good. Holding up the walls when there's nothing left. You don't need to break, you just need a breath. It's all good. Oh, it ain't bent or straight, it ain't black or white. There's a little color between those lines. It's all good. Oh, there's a reason, there's a why now. Sometimes you don't see it till you slow down, and you can't let go when you're 10 feet off the ground. When it don't make sense, hard to understand, running out of hope, cause it hurts so bad. Well, your tear-stained shirt is gonna dry out. It's gonna be all good. It's all good. All good.
And welcome back. Welcome back to Country Nights in the City here at the Moonshine Cafe on Kerr Street in Aurelia. We have had a wonderful night. The artists did such a great job this evening. I want to thank them all for being here. We had Graham Scott Fleming. And of course, Graham's song out there right now is called Deja Vu. So request it, stream it, spread the word about it. Mackenzie Leigh Meyer was here as well with her song. Give it up for Mackenzie. With her new single, Before You. Be sure to check that out, the song and the video, and request it, stream it, etc. And last but not least, Alessia Cohle. And her song is called All Good, and we just watched the video for that. So they all have, great singles out at country radio right now. And of course, we have to thank Jeff Brown for being on stage all night. He's going to do a little something for us. I also want to thank John. I just want to thank John and Carlos at the Moonshine for the Moonshine Studio. I'll call it for doing such a great job and being great people.
I'm going to interrupt you for a minute.
Yes, please.
Dave, thank you to you so much. Because
The great Dave Woods.
seriously, you give us this amazing platform to perform, and you've provided a safe space for us to come and play new music and play with our friends and meet new friends. And seriously, we could not be more grateful. So thank you, and thank you,
Thank
again,
you.
John and Moonshine.
Thank you.
John and Carlos for running sound here tonight. And just owning the place. You got to thank the guy who owns the joint.
Exactly.
Johnny?
Johnny. Take a bow, Johnny.
Take a bow.
All right, Jeff.
All right. Good night, everybody. Yeah.